Hey guys, it's Saeco here, and we are into the end of the first week of August already in 2023. Boy, time's flying this summer for me. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I know you got a lot of heat, and rain, and foul weather across the country, but here at my place in the garage, I got 70 degrees, real nice. It's mid-afternoon. What are we looking at? 64% relative humidity. It's probably 73 outside. The garage stays a little cooler. And it's Moldy Monday again. This is going to be episode 23. And I've got another Saeco mold for you today. This is another for 10 millimeter or 40 Smith & Wesson. This is the Saeco 624-3. All right, it's rated at 170 grain, truncated cone bevel base type of bullet. Mine actually come out to 172 grains as cast. With the alloy that I use with it. I picked this mold up at half price. Midway had a sale on them. And you know, these Saeco molds are pricey. I really like them, but they are really expensive compared to a Lee or RCBS even. Okay, they're between Lee, RCBS, and Lyman. These guys are the most expensive of those three. So anyway, it wasn't too bad of a deal. As far as price goes. So, you know that here on YouTube, if that's where you're watching, I can't show you the mold itself or any of the actual casting process, but here's what the bullet looks like, okay? So it's a nice looking bullet, and it turns out that this mold ran pretty well. We'll take a look at the mold here in just a minute if you're on watching on Rumble, but as far as the casting went, it started off a little on the cool side, and it heated up in short order and got to rolling along pretty well, and it did a good job. There were one or two calls, but that was it. Okay, it started off really well, as the Saecos usually do. Okay, I've had one or two that weren't quite up to snuff, but this one was fine. This is a good mold. All right, let's, if you're on Rumble, we're going to get into taking a look at the mold. If you are on YouTube, we're going to shoot on over to the shooting part of this so you can see that. And so far, they haven't given us any grief over that part. So I think I can show you the metrics, the measurements of the projectile itself after it was cast, and then we'll go look at some shooting. All right, stand by. Here are our measurements then. Okay, came in at 172 grains with this alloy. Both cavities measured right at 0.401. Saeco molds tend to be real consistent in that regard. And the overall length 0.622, base up to the top of the top driving band there 0.390. So the mold did run pretty well. I had a couple little glitches here and there, you know, right at first. The sprue plate didn't want to give up its sprues, and that's just operator error. I just didn't have that sprue plate hot enough, as you saw, to get started. And it's a, you know, it's a thing. You can lay that mold upside down so that the sprue plate is right on the hot plate, or you can have a torch handy and heat up the torch, or heat up the sprue plate with your torch. You can do that too. That didn't seem to be enough of an issue for me to mess with. I knew it was going to heat up just from casting it. And then the sprue plate tightened up. Usually what happens during use is that they will get looser. And I don't know how that happened. You know, heat, you know, thermal expansion, or, you know, who knows. Anyway, I got that readjusted, and then she ran good there. So those little kinds of things happen. You just got to be ready for them, and that's kind of why I show you, you know, at the beginning, you know, what kind of tools and stuff you need to have handy to make adjustments, because you never know exactly what's going to happen as you're casting. So, you know, I had those pieces laid out, a couple Allen wrenches, and the screwdriver all set in case we needed to do something like that. Let's see what else. I guess that's about it for the casting portion. I was real happy with the performance of the mold. Okay, the bullets look great. I got some loaded up with 3 different powders. We've shot lots of bullets in the 170 grain range out of the 40 Smith & Wesson, so we kind of knew, what we were looking at as far as powder charges go. So I wanted to try some different powders with this particular one, so we tried some Vitavury N340 and some Winchester 231, okay, and some Power Pistol. And let's go take a look at how those rounds shot. All right, so that's the N340, and it didn't do bad. There's 8 rounds right there, and a couple of outliers. That's the 231. Frankly, I expected better from that. Our aim point on all of these is right here, guys, right dead center. Okay, and then up there with the Power Pistol, I think it's going to be the winner. Pretty decent group, 8 rounds there. You saw I had one hiccup. It was a light strike. But that's a function of the firearm, not the round. Trust me, been working on that. Anyway, that's not too bad there. It's, I think, pretty close tie between those two, between the Power Pistol and the N340. I think either of those would work. Power Pistol clearly had more feel to it, more punch. Okay, so the range work wasn't too bad. I was okay with it. The Power Pistol to me seemed like the best load. Okay, it was the spunkiest of the 3, and it seemed to shoot pretty well. There was one light strike, and that Glock 35 that I got, I replaced the trigger, and there's a little bit of an issue sometimes. I'm using Federal primers even, and that still gave me a light strike. That's the first time that's happened in a while, but periodically it does do that, and I've messed with the springs, all that kind of stuff. That's not it. There's a drag point that sometimes keeps the firing pin from hitting hard enough. But we refired the bullet. it went fine the second time, so it's all good. Anyway, pretty happy with the results. It's a bullet that I will use again, most likely at some point. Okay, I'm going to shoot up all that I cast, and then I'll know, next time, hey, we need a good 170 grain bullet. This guy can fill the bill. Okay, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed that, got something out of it maybe. If you have this mold and shoot it out of a 10 millimeter or a 40 Smith & Wesson, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to hear from you and hear about your experience with that mold. But from the Viejo bench, for now, that's all she wrote.